Mic check, mic check. Welcome back to the Short Kings podcast. I'm going to use this voice because this is the voice that I normally talk in, the pitch that I talk in, the volume that I talk in.
Lil Fazy, mic check, 1, 2. This is usually the voice that I talk in.
This is not the voice you're talking.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, when I wake up in the morning, I'd be like, hey, what's good? I remember
Can we keep that shit? It'd be like, can we keep it like this for the rest of the day?
And then I drink some water and it's like, hey.
Hey,
good morning.
La, la, la.
Yeah, so we rolling. You guys can take off whenever you're ready. I'm just double checking everything.
All right.
Triple checking everything.
Ready, baby boy?
Yes, sir. Ready to go. Shout out to Celsius. Are we sponsored by Celsius?
We're not sponsored, but
Fuck Celsius. Fuck Celsius until you
not
sponsor
sponsor us. Welcome back to the Short Kings podcast. I'm your host, Wolfie, accompanied by my boy Faison, and it's going to be a very interesting show today because it is fight heavy. We just had UFC 300. We've had a ton of crazy news that have come out, and today it's going to be another wonderful conversation that you get to join with the best show on the best show in Houston, Texas. You know
Episode 10, baby. Episode 10. How are we feeling today, bro? I'm acting like I didn't see you last night when we watched the fight, but how are we feeling this morning?
Feel great, you know. It was a really good weekend. I'll be honest with you. We had Eid, which was like 3-4 days ago.
We're finally caffeinated. We're off of the fasting regiments that we were doing for like a month. And so it's great to be back on the show. And you know, now it's time to take over. Motherfuckers didn't want to believe that we are the best show in Houston, Texas. And I think now everybody's trying to recognize a little bit. You know what I mean? Dude, I feel like you're on some David Goggins energy.
I mean,
you feel like you're on some motivational shit right now.
Bro, you know what it is, bro? Because we've been grinding in every way possible. You know, on this podcast, we've been grinding, you know, in the gym. We've been grinding in every way possible at work. You know, there's a lot of success coming as well deserved, right? Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, bro, like, you know, I'll speak for myself here.
Uh-huh.
I want to remind the audience, Ramadan ending and Eid was the end of our transformation project. I'll talk about my personal like journey there. So guys, I was the skinny guy that always wanted to be big, right? But I'm not gonna lie, I overdid it. I went from like 120 to 170 in the span of like probably like 5 years. Like it took a long time. Like it was throughout college. Obviously I wasn't dieting. I was just like a meathead working out. And I ultimately got to the same place where I started in. That's how I felt. I was like, bro, I still don't love the way that I look. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm a little beefier. I fill out some shirts a little bit better. I look like a man, but I'm also like 26. Like what 26-year-old doesn't look like a man? But I was like, bro, I'm not proud of this. It doesn't look like, what did we used to always say? We look like we work out in certain shirts.
Yeah. Like it's like, you know, the sleeper build where it's like the amount of, for how long we go to the gym, we need to get a better physique, basically. Where we're
because we were just watching online, and I also want to credit TikTok a little bit for this, because, you know, you have your certain fitness influencers where you're like, that guy's on roids. But now on TikTok, bro, I see physiques every day where I'm like, that's a very natural, attainable, beautifully aesthetic physique, right?
Well said.
And I think me and you had just had enough, and we took 2 months. I was able to lose 25 pounds fucking off of doing cardio on a daily basis. I'm so over you doing it. But honestly, I don't even feel like I've worked out without it. But it's like, dude, I just love the way that I look right now. And I like I know, like, maybe you can't see this, but, like, I'm still filling out the same shirts, and now when I take my shirt off, I feel a lot better,
it's
too.
all in your neck now and your jaw, you know? You just look sharper, and I feel like over time, when you're in that state, mental state and physical state, bro, you just feel great. You feel fucking great. You feel sharper. You know, you look sharper. So, hey, bro, shout out.
And what about you? Tell me about your experience, bro. Like, I kind of gave like a little, like, I feel like a little autobiography.
I don't know if you remember. I'm the one who actually said that we should
pitch this. Yeah.
The reason why I pitched it, bro, is because I said, look, man, summer's right around the corner. We know we're going to be vacationing.
For sure.
You know, for me, it's more because I do social media and I do fitness content. So I have to shred and get in shape anyways for the summer. What better way to do it than to get Faison to join, right? But here's the thing, guys. I didn't think Faison was going to actually commit to it because Faison, we've been homies for so long. He's told me so many times that he's going to get abs, get shredded. And it's got to the point where I was like, you know, when he says it, it's one ear, you know, out the other, right? But this time I made it a competition for him. I said, let's compete. Let's put it online, right? and let's see what people think, right? At the end of the day, who gives a fuck, right?
Like, we're only gonna get better, right?
Like you're gonna get abs regardless. But now there's people watching and intrigued in who's gonna outperform the other, right? And one thing I learned about you, throughout this training competition between us, right, is you really perform your best when you're up against other people, not when you're up against yourself.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I don't know.
Now, here's the thing. No, because the way I'm saying it sounds like it's
kind of toxic,
negative.
right? Yeah.
But, bro, if you are self-aware and you understand how you perform, you can always utilize it for like in a positive way. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I mean, bro, look, like if we're being honest, right? Starting out, yeah, we had both got bulkier because we weren't dieting. But I knew that I was behind the 8 ball in terms of, bro, you do this fitness shit. You know, like I gotta give respect where it's due. Like muscle mass. When I've seen you and your peak shredded, I'm like, this dude looks fucking crazy. And I know you're natural, you know?
Yeah.
Like there is no like guy that I'm seeing online that I'm even questioning it a little bit. So I'm like, dude, I'm already like so behind the 8 ball that it's gonna take like a
Which is where you perform best.
LeBron back against the wall.
Yeah, you perform best when you're gonna like.
I'm the underdog.
You're the underdog,
yeah,
and you know that it's unattainable, and you try your best to get there. Like it could be a FIFA match, it could be a fucking, it doesn't matter what it is. You perform best.
I did the meme of like when you sit up in your chair. You know, like I was like, oh shit. Also, bro, like. You know, like, bro, we're getting older and like, yeah, like there was a lot of people that were really fit in college, right? That we were friends with.
Yeah.
So many of them have fallen off. Like so many people that get into their late 20s and like life happens, right? Like you're freaking having kids, getting married, working more, whatever. And me and you are like, we're still experiencing life outside of the gym, but I feel like we've stayed on top of it. And I hope like to our boys, I'm gonna be on like our boys outside of me and you, right? I hope that like some of y'all can even take like a little bit of like, like the grind is still here. Like we're still like, because me and Ahmad announced the competition, but I'm still looking at my entire crew and I'm like, bro, like we should be like, there's no freaking question marks in our group, right? Yeah. We're on top of our careers. We're on top of our health. We're on top of our physique, and we're just fucking killing it in life.
Bro, but here's the thing, right? Like for me, I'm very self-aware. I like to be. I study myself almost to a point where it's a little toxic, right? And I learned in college early on, right? Not in high school, it was in college when I figured this out. Was that everything for me revolved around how I was doing in the gym. If I performed really well in the gym and got in good shape, all of a sudden I did better on my grades, right? I was more happy. I was sharper. I felt like I was more positive. And so then I kind of understood early on is like everything revolves around the gym. So for example, if I want to make more money, focus first on getting right in the gym. And then naturally I would notice that I'm in this good element, right? This clear-minded element where I could think clearly. I can come up with new ideas and find opportunities a lot easier, right? So that's what you're realizing now, and maybe you've realized it before, but you're realizing now that like, this month you've achieved so much also outside the gym, right?
Yeah, I mean, your boy got a new job.
You got a new job. You've been much more positive. You're grinding on the podcast.
70K views.
70K.
You know what I mean? Like I just put out bangers only. You know what I'm saying? Like when I edit, my edit's a touch of gold. People keep telling me they're like, y'all got an editor. I'm like, no, it's fucking me and I'm out in the trenches, dog. Yeah. Like,
and not to just make it a whole segment on glazing each other, but like you gotta understand, bro. We did this shit for 2 months, right? We did this shit for 2 months where we set these goals and grinded in the gym, and there'd be days where I didn't want to go, but I see Faison showing up, and I'm like, fuck it, man, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go. Like where typically if I was just competing on myself, it's like there's no deadline. There's no time deadline for me to get in shape. I think that's the biggest issue,
I think that's the biggest thing in life, bro.
When you set deadlines is where fucking shit gets interesting.
I mean, bro, like you could do that for anything, bro. Like even people, bro, and like I feel like I'm sound like a motivational speaker today, but fuck it. We're riding into it.
We also just did like 50 push-ups to take our transformation pictures.
Yeah, we had to get some before and afters going. But dude, the concept of a deadline, you hate it when you're young, right? You're like, what the fuck, dude? This deadline, a deadline always feels like it's on you. It's on you. You know what I mean? Bro, if you hate any aspect of your life right now, set a deadline. you hate your job. I'm not saying quit tomorrow. Be smarter than that, right? But hey, in the next 3 months, I got to find a job opportunity that I like and I'm making good money. You know what I'm saying? If you hate the way you look in the mirror, bruh, day one is tomorrow.
That's
set a deadline.
right there. Clip that shit. You got to post that shit on your Instagram.
No.
That's hard, bro.
I mean, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like,
fucking hard, bro. I'm fucking hyped right now. That's insane, bro. I mean, I'm telling y'all, Faizon's been really putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? People used to think that I'm extra as hell when I'd be hyped up off caffeine, shredded as hell, but they didn't understand, man. It wasn't even about being shredded. It was up here, bro. I felt invincible up here.
I mean, bro,
you know what I mean?
and like you're saying, like you're speaking about feelings, bro, but in reality, like you actually do think clearly and you have more energy because you feel better.
Yeah,
you're
100%.
eating cleaner. You're like you know, there's a lot less brain fog. There's a lot less laziness.
100%.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like you're talking about emotional. There's like scientific shit to back what you're saying. So it's just like, honestly, bro. It's time to let's motherfucking get it. I know this is the end of our competition, but this is only the motherfucking beginning for me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Wolfie like that's a fitness influencer. He got like 130K, and we just talked about how I like to climb up mountains that seem unattainable. I might catch up on Wolfie that.
He might get 100K, bro. Off somebody's transformation pictures.
I mean, bro, I'm about to start doing a little voiceovers.
If you basically start putting the same consistency you've been doing on uploading like shorts for Short Kings, and you did that for your personal page, bro, we'd be fucking insane. We'd have 2 platforms. We'd push one platform, which is Short Kings podcast. We'd be untouchable, bro.
You know what's crazy though?
We'd
Last week we made a bet to the audience. I don't know if you heard that we were like, if one of our videos gets 100K, we're gonna do stand up.
Yeah. We should have posted that. That's what would have made it get 100K. I feel like.
I mean, bro, Kendrick Lamar's at 70K right now.
It's at 70K right now?
It's at 70K, and every time I refresh it, it's like we gain like 4 followers and like 30 likes. Like, it's like back in the algorithm. But I mean, if you're counting YouTube, it's already at like...
Nah, we're talking about one clip.
All right, one clip, one platform. I'm just putting it out there. I feel like you just got scared a little bit.
I'll be honest with you. I'm actually excited because this is just another opportunity for us to go get another viral clip. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, bro, like...
It'll be like banter of us doing this, then us going up on stage. Bro, for me... I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know about you. I perform better when the camera's on. I think it's weird. You know what I'm saying?
Showtime, baby. You're a game player. I'm not a practice guy.
At that point, you know, the only thing that I'm worried about what thinks of me is that camera whenever it's on. You know what I'm saying? Do I look good in it? Am I performing well? And I completely forget when there's an audience. So I'm down to do it, bro. If y'all want to send us to 100K on the Kendrick Lamar clip or any other clips, bro, let us know. I'm ready to get up on stage. I don't care, bro. I'll throw up some jokes. I'll write. I'll ChatGPT that shit. Make some people laugh.
Dude, imagine you become like a stand-up comedian solely based on ChatGPT. Like you're just fucking...
That would be actually insane. I'm going to call it the AI comedian.
I mean, we'd be like Drake. You got ghostwriters and everything.
Which I don't think is wrong. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think what Drake is doing as far as hiring ghostwriters, bro, when you're at that level and you're that successful... Like, you want Drake to sit down and start writing? Like, y'all should be embarrassed that Kendrick Lamar is actually still doing that. Like, how are you still...
Well, no wonder it takes him 3 years to release an album.
And then
boys working in freaking 1800.
And my favorite thing is how the Kendrick Lamar fans are steady saying quality over quantity. Let's be honest, right? There's no quality in all of his albums, maybe some, but not all of his albums are quality. Let's be honest. You probably don't even know all the albums and the songs that are on the album. We're getting into it. You know what I'm saying?
No. So look. So me and Ahmad is responding to the shit talking that y'all did in the comments. Over 1,000 comments on our Kendrick Lamar stance where we talked about Drake's quantity and quality that led us to believe that Drake is just the better overall artist, right? And first and foremost, right, the number one thing y'all said was quantity over quality, whatever, or quality over quantity. Sorry, y'all got me fucking tripping my words, right? And all we're saying is J. Cole hit it on the head, right? Your first album was a classic. Good Kid, Mad City was a classic. Pimp a Butterfly's overrated as hell. Y'all know that. Damn is good. Damn solid. Damn's your mainstream. And Big Morale Stepper, whatever the hell his last album was called, was ass, and everybody knows it. And in the words of Drake's diss track, how you a big stepper when you wearing a size 7, baby? Like, what the fuck?
And I want to kind of address some of the comments here. I want to get your opinion on it because some of them are pretty good, and maybe we can address the audience right now. So somebody said... Drake makes music for girls and males that paint their nails. I don't know. Is he trying to become a rapper? That's the first thing I thought. When
My
I read
thing
this.
is like my thing is like, bro, like, do you have a six pack? What makes you more masculine than us? What makes you more masculine than us? Let's just be dead ass. Like because we like Drake?
Okay, but here's the thing. These guys, we know that the comments are
Yeah,
trolls.
keyboard warriors.
Yes, they're keyboard, they're Twitter fingers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, the thing is, bro, as much as you want to try to paint, Drake out to be this feminine guy, at the end of the day, he's an artist, a pop artist / rap artist, right? Rap superstar. The reason why he's in Tokyo is because he's well known in Japan. Let that sit in, right? Because when you want to put two guys up against each other and say that this artist is better than this artist or this rapper is better than this rapper, just remember that if Kendrick Lamar went to Dubai, for example, no one would show up. No one would buy a ticket, right? If Kendrick Lamar stepped into, Brazil, no one would show up. Right, that's very important to take note of, bro.
Yeah, bro, because music is subjective and it's global. Music is an art form that can be received like all around. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason that Drake's One Dance, he can do one dance and then do like an album like Nothing Was the Same.
Exactly,
And it's called versatility and range, baby. Like,
and you can argue, right? Because you can sit here and say, but the way Kendrick Lamar creates music, that's what real hip hop is. That's what real rap is. True. But music is subjective.
Though.
Yeah, music is subjective. If you ask anybody that knows Drake around the world, what is Drake? They'll tell you he's a rapper, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows Drake is a rapper. Now we know the difference between like real pop and hip hop, and obviously Drake is also a pop star. He's made one of the best.
Well, that's why the term is
pop
artist.
songs that we know.
That's why the term is artist. I hate the categories.
Yeah.
Why would you limit yourself if I'm an artist, right?
Yeah.
Why would I be like, I'm a rapper. I claim to be a rapper, so the only thing that I can do is rhyme. Bro, if you can fucking sing, then sing too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are we discrediting his talent that he can move across different genres?
Okay. And I did want to mention this because a lot of the comments were showing the glazing meme, which is, bro, I was thinking about this when I was in the car and I'm like, dude, we live in a world where they've turned positive and negative into both negatives, right? Because it's like, if you praise somebody, you're glazing. If you say you don't like somebody, then you're a hater. So it's like they've made both of them into a negative thing. So it's like, if I say Drake is awesome, I'm glazing. If I say he sucks, I'm hating. So they've literally turned it to where
winning.
You can't be positive towards anything. You can't have a positive opinion about anything, and it's crazy, right?
I mean, bro, I'm the number one glazer then. I love letting people know when they're doing something right. You know what I mean?
So let's get into this beef real quick, okay? So what we know so far is, Kendrick Lamar released this, that song with Future
and Metro
Boomin. And after a while, it was very silent. We didn't hear anything from J. Cole or Drake, right? But then what happens is, out of the blue, J. Cole drops an album called Might Delete Later, where he has a bunch of these songs, and then at the end, there's this 7-minute drill, right? Where he fucking drops some bars, right?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, even though, it was very enjoyable, but we can tell that wasn't really Cole, right? Like, it didn't feel like maybe it felt like Cole like 2014, but it wasn't the Cole that we know today, who's all about positivity
and peace.
And we know for a fact that behind the scenes, Cole definitely have told Kendrick before that I like your music and I love the albums that you put out. There's no way he had not complimented.
He's always shown Kendrick respect.
100%, which is why I think he said, because, in one of his shows, he goes on stage and he apologizes for the whole situation and says that it was because it hurt his spirit. And when someone says it hurt my spirit, I can't get sleep off of it, it's because deep down inside you're not being your true self, and he was hating on somebody.
Okay, let's be real. Was like putting out a diss track and then apologizing and deleting weak or not, in your opinion?
In terms of hip hop beef, it was weak as fuck. It was weak. But if we're judging him based off of who he's trying to be, which is this philosopher, a positive individual who only wants to only spread positivity and be a good person, it's not weak at all. Because it's like, look, man, the fans kind of pushed me into doing this. I thought it might be a good idea. I put it out and it just didn't sit right in my stomach. And if anything, because let's be honest, J. Cole fans don't care. J. Cole fans don't care to them, he's better than Kendrick.
I mean, the thing about J. Cole and Kendrick's fans in their head, their guy is the GOAT, no matter what happens in this beef.
Yeah. And I heard this on actually Brilliant Idiots where they had a good point where it's like, really all you have to gain are us, the casuals. You know, because we're the casuals, right? We're
according to our comments,
we're not studying like hip hop like it's like I got an exam on it. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Who does?
Exactly. So the casuals are the only people that can be shifted, him or him, right? J. Cole or Kendrick, Drake or Kendrick, right? And so when J. Cole realized, look, I have a good fan base, I don't need to do this. All it's doing is hurting me more than it's creating a positive for me. He's like, bro, I need to take this back.
So I have a couple, my thoughts there, right? The reason I am a J. Cole diehard fan, like to this day, 2014 Forest Hills Drive concert at Woodlands Pavilion in Houston, Texas is one of the most amazing concert experiences of my life. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. I paid for lawn seats. I paid $20. I was in high school. It started raining. They let everyone come in, and I was able to finesse like some really good seats. And thank God the person who owned those seats never came. Like, I don't know where they were. Maybe they moved up further ahead. But regardless, at that time, that just felt like one of the greatest moments of my life. Still one of my favorite albums, right?
Yeah.
That shit was weak as hell. That was one of the weakest things I've ever seen J. Cole do. The reason I say that is I completely get where you're coming from in terms of, his spirit as a man of peace and positivity, and he didn't feel like it was authentic to himself as someone who respects Kendrick Lamar. He called you out. He said, y'all are some bums. He said, fuck the big three, it's big me. That's calling you out. Now, if you don't want to respond to that shit, cool. But once you do and you put out a whole project, that's when I start thinking it's weak in two ways. One, you didn't even stand on your real thoughts, because low-key, we heard what you really said, right? We heard what you really think. You think his first album?
But I don't know. I don't agree. I don't think that's what he really thinks still.
I mean, bro, you said it.
I could say it. If you piss me off and I say something piss you off, that doesn't necessarily mean I mean it. You know what I mean?
I mean, bro, what's the oldest saying in the book, bro? There's certain time when people tell you the truth, when they're drunk or they're mad.
Maybe, but also they also exaggerate the truth when they're upset.
I don't know if I agree with that.
It's like, let's be honest. Let's say you start talking shit. I'm like, shut your ugly ass up. It's like, do I really think you're ugly? Yes. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you might, but
do I think you're ugly? No, but I'm saying it to get a reaction out of you, to get the crowd high, especially if I'm doing it for the people around me.
Bro, but that's the thing. He didn't say like off the tongue shit like ugly ass. He gave an analysis of his discography, bro. He said your first album was solid, your second album's overrated as hell, your third one's your prime, your fourth one's whack as shit. He went through the four. And if that, like, I didn't think that he said anything that was that off base. Like, he just gave his opinion and responded to an attack on himself. And two, he released a whole project with it, right? Which then opens up the umbrella of like, okay, so Metro Boomin and Future have released 2 albums in the span of a month. We don't trust you and we still don't trust you. J. Cole just released an album off of it. Drake leaked his comeback. So all of a sudden now it feels like an industry, like, everyone's in on it and they're just trying to milk us and create this imaginary beef to get streams.
So then good question for you, bro. Why do you think that the Drake thing was leaked? Obviously, you just said that you think it's like planned. This whole thing is planned, right? Which even if it is, I don't care, right? It's
I'm down for it.
We're entertained.
I'm down for it.
You know what I'm saying? But why is it leaked? Like, I feel like that's something that wouldn't leak, right? It's a very, very.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think Drake is a little. Drake as big as Drake is, he clearly cares about public perception.
100%.
Right? He lost his last rap beef with Pusha T. Everyone thought Pusha T bodied him, right? I feel like Drake was like, "Yo, this is my first diss that I'm like coming up with. Let's put it out. Let's leak a little bit of it or leak all of it. I just want to see the feedback that I get, right?"
And Charlamagne the God actually said this. He had a really good point. He said that Drake's biggest fear, he's the one who has everything to lose. Because ever since back-to-back on Meek Mill, if he doesn't release another back-to-back or tops back-to-back, it's not worth putting out, right? He has nothing to win if he puts out a song like that. So it's like if he isn't able to put out another hit like back-to-back, it's tough. So it's like, what do I do? Maybe we leak it. I'm not putting it out. It's leaked to see what they think of it.
Yeah.
If they think it sucks, it's AI.
It's AI. I didn't even.
That's not me.
Even,
Once he saw people's reaction to it, who calls them DJ Academics, right? Is this you? now he has a pulse on how the audience is reacting. The audience and most importantly, the casuals are saying you bodied Kendrick with that. Right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, yeah, that's me. That was me. I did it.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because this is slightly off topic. I want to jump right back into this. But I saw this clip where it was like Back to Back was playing at the club, bro. And Meek Mill couldn't get away from that shit.
Bro.
Imagine he's like chilling in the car, the radio's on.
That song changed the fucking trajectory of Meek Mill's career. Back to Back literally created the Meek Mill we have today.
The
right?
thing is, he literally couldn't escape his diss track,
to this
bro.
day, people are still telling him he got Twitter fingers.
Bro, people
To
have
this
that
day.
on every. Think of a curated gym playlist. I swear to God, Back to Back is on there. If you go on Apple Music and you type gym playlist, every single one that you click on, if it's hip hop, is gonna have Back to Back. Can you imagine just living with that?
And that's how you know you have a hit, right? It's like when it has bars,
And
it
it's a
gets your point
song.
across and it becomes a song too, right? That's how you, and I think if Drake is not able to do that against Kendrick, it's not worth putting out. Now, to him, but to us, the fans, the casuals, you know what I mean? The fucking casuals, we want that shit, bro. We don't give a fuck. Let's round one, Drake. Aubrey, where you at, bro? As honestly, as the Brown Nation, you know, and the Arab Nation, we support you. Not saying that we don't support Kendrick, but we when it's the beef between you and Kendrick, we're with Drake, and it's like, bro, we need you to be out here, bro.
Yeah, forget that leak shit, bro. Get that shit on Apple Music
We're
so we
catching
can stream
strays
it.
for you, bro. Over 70,000 people are commenting on our shit saying, man, where your boy at?
Come on, Drake. Come on, Drake.
And so we, you know, please, Drake.
Drake.
Drake. But yeah, I mean, it's very exciting beef, bro. It's
I mean,
exciting beef.
it's the you know the pillars of the rap game are against each other. I personally think Third Eye's working, and I see that you guys are all just trying to get your streams up, and which is fine.
Yeah, and
we're
Metro
here
Boomin,
for
shut
it.
your ass up and make some drums. You know what I'm saying?
Give me 50, Kendrick.
Give me 50, Kendrick.
Give me 50. Metro, get the beats going.
Future,
G.
I ain't got no problem with you, Future. Oh yeah.
See, like the issue with Rick Ross is he's too.
He needs to worry about Diddy. Rick Ross still he needs to go worry about
Rick Ross
Diddy.
need to worry about his diet. Rick Ross need to worry about his diet. Rick Ross, I want to see you live a long and healthy life. I feel like that, you know, that voice that you have is really just you breathing.
Yeah, Rick Ross saw this whole beef, and he was like, "I'm trying to climb out of this Diddy." You know,
No, I mean, he
shithole
just
that they
like
put me in.
randomly threw himself in there. Like, I mean, I'm not. Once again, I'm a casual, so I'm not tapped in on every single disagreement. Like, what's even going on with Future and Drake?
I don't know, bro. I really don't know. As far as why everybody else is upset, I'm pretty sure there's like behind the scenes stuff, and you know that has.
He
gotten
said he
them-
didn't like my last song.
Yeah, he didn't this or didn't
He
that.
didn't invite
you know
me to
how rappers, and I've heard DJ Academics say this. Rappers are you think they're gangster, bro? They're the biggest divas you know.
Bro, they make songs.
They're divas, bro.
They make songs.
They're divas. man.
They're the equivalent to theater kids.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You know,
They're from the hood. Like, you know, a lot of them are from the hood, quote unquote, and they have like crazy lifestyles and past, but ultimately they're theater kids who create art.
yeah, no, for sure. And you got to understand, it's the only job in the world where you can still act hard but be rich at the same time. Like any other career, you cannot do
Yeah, it's
that.
like, bro, you're a multimillionaire.
Like,
What are
think
you
about it.
talking
Athletes can't even do that because athletes have to be in this crazy mindset and training mindset, competitive mindset to where they're grinding, trying to beat themselves every single day. Rappers don't got to do that.
Well, the only other profession that can act hard is the motherfucking UFC fighters that put together a show
What a
last
show.
night.
What an absolute massacre of a night last night, man.
UFC 300. Me and your boy Wolfie got together. We watched the fights, and I just want to give a shout out to me and Ahmad made one bet last night, right? We bet on that BMF championship, Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, right? And Ahmad was, you know, he was betting with the favorite. He was betting with Justin Gaethje. He's, you know, Max is coming up a weight class, but Max, I knew you were more skilled, dog, and
Well,
he put on the performance. First and foremost, right? Was Max's knockout yesterday on UFC 300 the biggest knockout in UFC history?
I think it's probably one of the most exciting and one of the most, you know, memorable moments of UFC history. When, you know how last night they gave the Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen the the Hall of Fame fight.
Yeah.
That was a fight that could literally earn that respect at that level. The fact that Justin Gaethje was 100% out of there. Max Holloway had 100% defeated him
4 rounds to 0.
right? Broke his nose, poked his eyes out, destroyed him, right? He said, come over here. Let's give these fans exactly what they're looking for. This is the BMF belt, and we got to show them that, the money that you spent is well earned here. These last 10 seconds, I'm giving you another chance. Mind you, this is Justin Gaethje we're talking about. You do not stand in the pocket with Justin Gaethje and trade at that in that moment of fight when you're beyond levels ahead in the scorecards, right? He stood there and said, let's run it, right? Gaethje steps up and they duke it out.
It's cinema, bro.
They
cinema.
Duke it out,
Baddest
bro.
motherfucker belt. I hope Max Holloway went to sleep with that shit on. And he's still wearing it right now while he's eating probably lunch or dinner in Vegas. Because that guy, bro, tactically, I've never seen, bro, he made Justin Gaethje look mediocre last night.
100%. And
Maybe
it was because of the broken nose for sure. But at the end of the day.
But how did he break his nose?
Yeah, exactly.
How did he break his nose?
By timing him and knowing his mistakes and doing it. Exactly.
By understanding that when Justin plants, he throws a 1-2 and ducks his head aggressively, right? Max was timing that shit all night, bro.
It was very sharp.
And that goes to film study, preparation. So, I want to give Max a huge shout out because Max was the fight of the night. He brought his fucking balls to UFC 300 and left them in the middle of the cage. So I just want to first of all, shout out Max Holloway.
Thanks for giving us a show. Thanks for giving the fans a show.
Where does he go right now? Because look, Dana announced, right? Islam is fighting Dustin, right? In June.
Okay.
Does Max, because Justin Gaethje was the number 1 contender, right? Justin Gaethje loses. Oliveira loses. Does Max make an attempt to go fight Islam at 155? He's already been the 145 champion, but he also has an opportunity at 145 because Volkanovski lost the belt. So now Max can go fight Ilya.
I think we're over the Volk fight, right?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was an opportunity for him because he had already fought him 3 times. But now that there's a new champion at 145, does he go to regain his throne?
I mean, I think, once again, that Max has kind of stamped his success. We don't care for him to prove himself more. I think now Max can really start picking and choosing the fights that the fans want to see. He mentioned he wants to fight Conor for the BMF. He said, Conor, you think you're the baddest motherfucker alive? Let's run it.
Yeah, because they fought early in their career. Like, they were both really early in their career.
He said, I still have some business with Dustin Poirier. Right? Poirier, step up. Let's run it.
Dustin
The fans
Poirier was
this.
his first fight in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, bro, we want to see that fight today. Who else did he call out? Dustin Poirier. Oh, he can run it with Michael Chandler, right?
I'm going to tell you what I want to see Max do. Because Max is 32. You talking like Max is 37. Max is 32 years old, bro. He's still in the prime of his career. It is not time yet to do the fanfare shit. I mean, he's still going to do it, but this is what I think Max does, right? Max goes and beats the living shit out of Ilya because, let's be honest, the dude's half your size and you can piece his ass up. All you got to do is dodge his overhand right. And gets the 145 strap back, right? Mm-hmm. Volk's going to come back once he recovers from his concussions and depression and overall shortness issue that he has. And Volkanovski, he gets to the 4th fight with Volkanovski, but this time Max is champion, and Max gets to avenge the one person that has always beaten him. It'll be like an Izzy versus, Alex Pereira type of deal. And then Max goes up and gets whoever's 155 champion at that point. I just laid out his next 3 fights to end his career, bro. After that, he can do whatever he wants.
So you think that,
go get the 145 strap.
He needs to still continue going uphill is what you're saying. He shouldn't
he's
park
30, he's
and
32.
start entertaining the fans.
Unless he wants to retire. Obviously, if he wants to retire, like you said, he's done more than enough in his career. He's already a legend. Off of last night alone, he's a freaking legend. But I feel like if you're going to stay in it, let's be strategic. Let's go get these belts and let's go... Let's try to see if he can become double champ, bro. Because he looked good at 155, bro.
He definitely looked good.
Big. He looked stronger.
He looked sharp,
and he still brought that tacticalness.
You know, another fight that yesterday was very interesting to watch. I don't know if you were there by the time this one was playing, but the Yuri versus Rakic.
Yeah.
Fight. You were there, right? And so this is another fight that during the fight, I thought this could also be a potential fight of the night.
I mean, it was the fight of the night until Max did
It was
Max
the first
things.
fight, in my personal opinion, that kind of set the pace for what the main card's going to be.
Aljamain was boring as hell. When Yuri got out there and started doing his thing, that's when it was like UFC 300 is here.
And the way that fight played out was I saw Yuri kind of try to set the pace for that fight, but he was kind of getting shut down by Rakic, kind of in the beginning. Yes, the Rakic looked extremely sharp.
No, he did. I'm just shaking my head at this concept of the leg kicks that, I don't know, like, I mean, it came out like, 3-4 years ago, and it completely, like, that's where the fight starts.
100%.
It doesn't matter. If you can't get close and I'm just whacking your front leg over and over again, and then all of a sudden you can't even put weight on it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and it's because you got to understand, it's the easiest way to check someone who's rushing in.
Yeah.
If you're going to rush in the way Yuri was rushing in, it's the easiest possible way for a defender to throw those leg kicks to keep you off coming in inside and taking advantage, right? But we saw Yuri literally fight through that. He kept taking the leg kicks, checking them when he can, but making Rakic pay every chance he got, right? And that continued to happen throughout the fight until we saw a vicious TKO.
I mean, bro, that Rakic guy, shout out to him. He fought. UFC is one of those sports where you can fight perfectly until a moment.
Yeah,
and it cost
and that was a
your
perfect
night.
example of that.
Yeah,
right?
because he was executing the shit out of his game plan, right? He had
was
Yuri.
executing.
He everything. I could literally see it. I was like, bro, this he's managing distance every time he gets in there and he gets in the trenches. He's connecting more than Yuri. And for Yuri, it was like you just lost to Alex Pereira, and if you lose this one, it's like where does it even really leave you? Like at that point in the division and shit, like it's a big uphill climb back. So he needed that one. He got it, but. The main event of the night, bro. Poatan, Alex Pereira, puts out Jamahal Hill and this is I'm not gonna lie, bro. Our takes about Alex Pereira are aging like milk.
Yeah. He might be that guy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. We said last podcast, we said he was, we don't know why the UFC is hyping him up and making him out to be a superstar. But the guy might be a superstar. The second he learns English, even if it's as broken as Khabib's English, he's going to become a mainstream fighter, bro.
Bro, so look, this is what I'll say. I have a couple things, so you stay with me here.
Sure, go ahead.
One, Dana, you dirty dog. I still see that you're avoiding giving Alex a true Russian wrestler, which I get. I get it. You don't want to expose his weaknesses. He's doing great. And I will say he's a supremely great, like he might be the greatest kickboxer in UFC history. And I say that as an Izzy fan, right? But I want to talk about the cinema of last night. There's an old interview of Adesanya, right? Where he is talking, he's interviewing with ESPN, and he says, they ask him about Alex, right? This is before Alex is even in the UFC. And Adesanya says, that's just some guy that's sitting at a bar right now in Brazil, and he's talking to the people around him at the bar, and he's saying that I beat that guy one time. He's watching me live out his dreams. Fast forward, last night, Izzy sitting front row watching Alex Pereira not only main event UFC 300, but defending the belt that Izzy couldn't get.
Yeah, no, that and you got to understand that the problem with somebody like Pereira is when he got the opportunity, right? Not only did he solidify that I deserve it, but it's almost miles ahead of that. He's like, not only do I deserve this, I'm literally the best. I'm going to achieve things that Izzy couldn't achieve. Mind you, last podcast we said that will he be the next Conor is the UFC. Maybe the UFC sees that he can do things like what Conor did.
I mean, bro, that left hook.
As far as fight tactics, right, and fight skills, like he's only been in a few fights. He's earned 2 titles. He's got some of the craziest KOs.
I mean, bro, and the thing is, like, okay, was he maybe did he get his first opportunity with Izzy a little quickly because of their kickboxing history? For sure.
100%.
But what does he do? He knocks Izzy out.
100%.
And then, yeah, I know like they fought again, but if you fight a guy 4 times and the guy only beats you once.
When we see him knock out some of these fighters, the thing that continues to play in the back of my head is like, bro, I don't even know how Izzy knocked him out. Like it literally, you look at him like last night, you're like, wait, this guy actually was just defeated a few fights ago, but it's like, how? How did even Izzy crack him to begin with? He looks insane.
I mean, bro, that's why it took Izzy won. Bro, think about it. Izzy's one of the best fighters in UFC history. He's fought this guy 4 times and only won once. And let's be real, that fight wasn't really going well for Izzy until it was. He caught him. Yeah. He caught him, which I got to give respect where it's due. That's one of my favorite UFC moments of all time. But it's just like, bro, this guy walks forward and has a left hook. Bro, he didn't even really hit Jamahal Hill yesterday. It like grazed him. And it like, bro, his eyes literally rolled to the back of his head. I don't know what they're feeding this dude in Brazil.
What do you think about the moment where they said it's probably one of the most savage moments in UFC history where he gets nut shotted? He waves off, he waves off the ref without breaking eye contact with Hill. He doesn't break eye contact. He waves off Herb Dean. And the second Herb Dean steps out the way, takes a step forward, boom.
Bink.
And he drops Hill like it was a video game, right? Gets on top, and finishes him, and we get that iconic celebration. Like now he's really trying to become a superstar. He's showing us, this is what I do. You guys think I'm this new guy. This is what I do.
Bro, the thing is, I mean, the shout out to Joe Rogan, which me and Joe Rogan yesterday were just really we were
eye to eye.
We were locked in. I'm not gonna lie. I know y'all don't believe me, but me and Joe, I would say something and Joe Rogan would say it 2 seconds later. The fact Alex had this weird thing where he's backing up and leg kicking, and then there's a moment where he figures something out, right? And obviously we've never done MMA. I can't even imagine what it's like being in his mind. I've seen it in every fight because then all of a sudden he's walking dudes down. It's like, I don't know if it's like a timing thing, but with Jamahal Hill, he would just like, there was like a moment in the, like after a minute where he was like, oh, okay. And that's why when Herb Dean came, it was like,
I've cracked the code, buddy. I don't need it.
I don't need you. I'm about to put him out. Like, and literally a second later, fakes the right, boom, follows with the left, where he's doing the fucking TikTok dudes, dude. What a fight. What a card. Dana, you dirty dog. You
put on a show, man.
Dana White.
Put on a show.
I want Dana White to come to the podcast one day. I'm hoping that he can get behind us like he gets behind the Nelk boys. What do we got to do, Dana? What do we got to do?
Dana, I really think you need, to look at, you love recruiting new talent. You say it's one of the top jobs, one of the top roles that you do in the UFC. Man, I don't know if you're already doing this, but when you say new talent, what about, commentators? What about,
reporters?
Like Full Send was a great move by you, right?
But Kyle doesn't know shit about fighting tactician and like breaking it down, bro.
And you need some real casuals, you know what I'm saying? Like the experts are a little boring, you know what I'm saying?
They get a little too in the weeds. Yeah, like we analyze it right where
you need the casual experts, you know what I mean? The casual experts will explain to other casuals exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? I think we do a great job of that. Wouldn't you say?
No, I mean, bro, I thought we were doing a great job of it until we almost died last night. I mean, guys, so like to paint the picture for y'all, right? We decided to watch the UFC 300 at a restaurant that was streaming it, right? It's busy as hell. That restaurant is packed to the bone. And a couple of our orders got mixed up. The waitress was a little stressed out. And, we understood, like, it was really busy. We were with a big party. It wasn't a big deal at all.
Yeah, right? But just to clarify, it wasn't just mixed up as in, like, she got the wrong order, whatever. It was like she's charging you, like, twice the amount you should be charged. Right?
She was
like, get my order wrong, that's fine. But when you're going to, you're going to add $30 extra or $40 extra on my price for, my ticket for no reason, it's like, oh, can you please fix it? So this happened to 6 or 7 to our friends. Mind you,
we're just working it out. Like, it's not a big deal. We're none of us, I want to make it very clear that none of us were really upset. Like, obviously we're a little confused, but we were like, bro, maybe she's new, whatever, right? Who cares? Thing is, right? So me and Ahmad are looking at some screens and we see that she's getting frustrated with the situation at hand, right? She's getting frustrated. It's a big party. A lot's going wrong, whatever. She's talking to the table behind us, right? We realize it's her boyfriend sitting behind us. And he doesn't know that me and Ahmad can hear him. And, you know, he's juiced up off of UFC. He's watching Max Holloway deliver.
Had a couple of drinks.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Doesn't like the idea that this table is upset with his girlfriend, as he should. You know what I'm saying? Even though our table's in the right for being upset for, you know, the orders being wrong. But it's like at the same time, he's like, I don't care. Like, you know, as he should, as the boyfriend, he's very protective over his girl.
Yeah,
right?
so me and Ahmad hear, well, specifically Ahmad, because he's sitting even closer. Ahmad hears them where he's like, should I beat these dudes' ass? And he's like sitting with another guy. The other guy's like, dude, I don't know. They're like rolling kind of deep. And then they're like, we can roll deep too. Mind you, me and Ahmad are sitting with our backs to them. So we're like, the whole time, we're
and
kind of...
in my head, I'm like, bro, I just want to watch UFC 300. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be worried about rolling deep. You know what I'm saying?
But guys, we live in Texas. So it's like, you know, like people can have guns and shit. So it just became super stressful. And I know you guys are probably going to think like, oh, they weren't going to do anything. But y'all didn't see these dudes.
Yeah. No,
like, you know what I mean?
Like if I could paint you a picture of what a guy in Texas that would want to have a problem with you would look like, it'd be that guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's all that needs to be said.
And in danger, and when it comes to danger, you do have to assess the situation and figure out, am I in danger right now? Like, should I be worried right now? Should I be cautious? Should I be alert? Right? And in that situation, I felt like all my bells were ringing.
I mean, bro, that's where like these open carry laws.
As
like
this
crazy.
is happening, Gaethje's getting lit up, right? So I'm also losing the bet against Faisal, so I'm stressing, bro.
No, I mean, bro,
I'm
telling you, bro, nights like last night is what makes like the open, like you can have a gun at any point in your life, like in a restaurant. Like it makes shit feel so stressful, bro. Because obviously we didn't care that the waitress was tripping. Like honestly, like even her adding $20, like we all have, like it wasn't even like we just wanted to work it out, but there was no like real disrespect flying.
Yeah, because the issue wasn't us. The issue was that the waiters were messing up our order, right? And then whenever we tried to fix it with her, she'd bring her manager out, and then the manager would start being rude. Right?
Yeah.
So it was like this weird situation where like you're messing up my order, and now you're mad at me,
and we're all chilling.
So it's like then you're making a decision. You're like, all right, so I want to get upset because now you're messing up my order and you're getting mad at me, but I also I know that those guys are looking for a reason to start a fight. So it's like you're in this weird situation, right? Like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Like the manager literally called my friend an ass just for questioning what's going on with his check. The other one came in and tried to lie and say, see, you guys ordered 4 margaritas. My homie's like, bro, I don't drink. This is a water. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and mind you, she's yelling at him saying this. And he's like being calm, but it's like, how are you going to be calm when the person messes up and is being rude?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
dude. I mean, I think I don't know. Like, we love watching fights there, but I don't know if I'm gonna go back.
Yeah,
I think we might have to find a new spot just because, like, not only was the service like kind of bad yesterday, but it was also like nothing's great about.
Like, I'll give you a perfect example of how bad my order is. She charged me $87 extra.
Yeah.
87, not 20, not 30. Like, so far I'm charged twice. She charged me $64, which my order is supposed to be 64, and then another $87 charge.
Yeah, like that's, and then not mind you, like everything's mediocre besides like our view of the screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the food, no one goes there and is like, oh my God, the food's about to be so good. Like it's literally the most mid food ever. We just it's like a little sports bar type of thing. So it's like, we're just trying to watch the fight, but we might have to find a new spot. And, you know, maybe we can try these new spots with Dana announced some dates. I want to get your thoughts on it. Dana White announced finally, bro, confirmed the return of the Mac.
The return of the Mac.
McGregor versus Chandler is going to be happening in, I'm blanking on it now. July
303.
303. Whenever 303 is, July, I believe. And Islam and Dustin are fighting as well. So we'll get to them. It's finally booked down. We just saw Conor in that movie. He looks beefed up as hell. What are your early predictions of this fight? Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor.
I think that if we get the Conor that we know, right? If Conor,
don't start with this. If like, look, he's already creating scenario.
Once again, man, you're gonna sit here and say that Conor's washed up now. He's a lot older. He's been out of the game, but you're forgetting the fact that we're still talking about Conor McGregor, right? Like somebody who is bulletproof up here and bulletproof down here, right? So if Conor takes it seriously and trains the way he's supposed to train, I think that he's going to come out there, he's going to outstrike Chandler, outperform Chandler, and put Chandler down. Now, let's be realistic. Everybody thinks that Chandler is the guy who's going to win, right? But if you're a true fan of Conor, you know that he's the guy who overcomes all odds.
I mean, Conor lives for guys like Chandler.
100%.
I'm gonna tell you why. Chandler walks forward, fights a little sloppy. Yes, he can wrestle, but he doesn't wrestle super well. Like he can, but I've never seen him really use it to his advantage.
100%. You're gonna get caught by that left.
And he's gonna get pieced up, right? And Chandler has a weak gas tank.
We know that Chandler is used to getting dropped, and he has an ego. And when you're fighting against Conor, we know that fighters in the past have showed ego fighting Conor, because you can't fight Conor and be calm. He will get you to be egotistical.
Yeah, he's gonna
and then make you pay for them.
Yeah, so I honestly think that although Chandler's gonna be the favorite, bet the house on Conor. Because I'm telling you right now, this is the perfect matchup for Conor. There's matchups, goddamn Celsius. There's matchups for Conor that aren't that great, like Khabib and these wrestling Russian dudes. Chandler's the perfect matchup because he's gonna walk right into a combination and he's gonna be sleeping, and Conor's gonna be saying, "You mouthy fools!
You little flick, you little flea, I will show you."
Yeah, little snake in the grass.
Little snake in the grass, you are.
Weasel. Hey, your father said that you've been fucking up the operation.
Your wife's in my DMs.
Yeah, your wife's in my DMs.
We have the worst Conor impressions of all time, bro.
I can't do an Irish accent, bro. I'm sorry. The second fight that Dana announced is Islam versus Dustin. Dustin's last opportunity, right? He got his first title shot against Khabib, and he almost locked in the guillotine, but Khabib,
and way to hoe him by putting his last opportunity against arguably the best UFC fighter right now in
pound for pound number one,
Islam.
Russian as hell, no personality.
To be the top tier, UFC fighter currently in today's age, right? We know that these Russians have become unstoppable. There's no way to defend against their wrestling. The only way to defend against their wrestling is to literally be another Russian that have grown up and trained the way they've trained, right? So we know you can't beat them on the ground. As far as striking, I mean, maybe you can do something early on, but they're literally rock solid strong, and they can shoot and get the takedown whenever they please.
The single leg is getting got.
You're not escaping the single leg. And I think Poirier, as we know, is a guy who, when he's losing, he's completely defeated up here. And we know that once Islam takes him down, takes him over to the cage,
starts deep water,
starts drowning him and interrogating him, literally interrogating him for the truth, right? That's what Khabib used to do.
Yeah, you're not
interrogating him, saying,
"You don't want to be here.
You know I deserve this. You know I'm levels above you. You can't hang with me."
What a
we
mental
know
warfare.
Mrs. Poirier will immediately give up. And it's not. What is he gonna do?
You think this is Dustin's last fight?
I based off of what he said about how he reacted to his fight against Gaethje, he said that him losing to Gaethje was the darkest moment of his life.
Grow up.
It's like, we can't, I'm like, I don't know anything. Like being knocked out the way that he was knocked out by Gaethje, like I don't understand. But
I mean, like
it's solidified that you're the biggest sore loser in the UFC division.
I mean, my just thing is that, like, bro, you are walking into a fight with a knockout artist in Justin Gaethje. It never occurred to you that there is a potential outcome of you getting knocked out?
Yeah, and it's like, once again, it confirms the idea that he can't handle losing. And the second Islam takes him into deep waters and welcomes him into this new universe called the Russian beatdown, right? The Russian mix-up. And when you're against the cage and you're looking up at the clock and you're thinking, man, I got 30 seconds to survive. Once fighters start looking at the clock to how long can I survive instead of am I still in this fight, you already know they've been beaten.
I think win or lose, Dustin needs to walk away after this.
Yeah.
Because if he somehow, by the grace of God, Islam wakes up and has the flu that day, right? He has the flu. He actually developed some sort of terminal disease too that's weakening him. That's the only way that Dustin has a chance of winning this, right? And if Dustin wins, let's just be honest, Dustin, you don't have the juice to go defend this belt against that death row kind of gauntlet. That's the 155 division, right?
The best division in the UFC.
Yeah, so there's no way you're defending that belt more than once. And if you lose, there's literally not a single fight for you.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately, Dustin, win or lose, go out
like
on
a
top.
champion.
Yeah. You're in the belt, right? You're getting lucky a little bit because of the timing and Islam's schedule, and Ramadan. Look, he helped out Dustin, which I don't even know if he knows that, but you better thank Allah a little bit. And this is it, Dustin. Either you get the chip or you don't. Go home after this. Go hang out with your wife. Make sure she's not in Connor's DMs anymore. All right? It's time. It's time. It's Bruce Buffer.
You've been the baddest guy for the longest time, and I think it's time to put
there's just nowhere else to go, bro. Like, literally, who is he going to fight? Maybe Max? But, like, why would Max even want to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll probably be Poirier's most likely last fight. And, hopefully he does come out on top, but he's given us a good show. Exactly. So what else we got?
Bro, so last week, right? It's a regular Sunday, and my boy Arbaz, shout out to Arbaz, he hits me up, right? He's like, "What are you doing today? Let's do something." I'm like, "All right, let's kick it. Let's go somewhere. Let's do something," right? We realize we're like, "Yo, WrestleMania is on," right? And mind you, we both grew up, as you know, we loved WWE as kids, but obviously we haven't been as tapped in as adults, right? We're like, dude, let's just watch WrestleMania and hang out. It'll be like a fun little nostalgic vibe, We put it on. What a show.
Yeah.
Bro, what a show.
They've been improving.
Bro, I had no idea that WrestleMania was the WWE in general put on such a great show, and the nostalgia factors that they created, bro. Not only is Randy Orton still fighting, right, which is one of the OGs, but then the main event of the night is this guy named Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and I'm like, I don't know these guys, but bet. I remember Cody Rhodes from when I was a kid. I was like, this guy used to suck.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns now is like the guy.
Guy, right?
He's
Very
the John
clearly.
Cena of this generation.
Exactly, right? So I'm like, dude, I used to see Cody Rhodes as a kid. Like, he's like a main event guy now.
Yeah.
Like, bet. We're watching this fight, and it's a great, great match, right? But, in Roman Reigns bloodline fashion, people start coming out and interrupting the match. And then I hear the music. Dun, 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 John Cena.
John Cena comes
John Cena comes running out to save Cody Rhodes, bro. At this point, I'm ecstatic, right? I'm like, dude, that's John Cena. That's Ricky Stenicki.
That's Ricky Stenicki.
That's Ricky Stenicki. That's John Cena. I don't know who it is, but he's delivering. They call his special move the AA now. I call it the FU.
Attitude adjustment.
Yeah, I call it the FU, but whatever, right? Whatever floats your boat. John Cena's clearing house, right? He's giving Cody an opportunity to win. Then The Rock's music starts playing. The Rock?
The Rock is back,
Mind
baby.
you, my last years of watching WWE as a 13-year-old, that was the dream matchup.
Yeah.
John Cena versus The Rock, right? And I know they had it.
And they have this cinematic stare off, right? Where they stare into each other's eyes and they both pan the opposite direction to look at the crowd. And then they pan the opposite direction to look at you can tell these are two high level performers that have done this for many years. They know how to build the tensity, right? The tensity of the audience, getting everybody engaged in this story, because the WWE now have come out publicly and said, yes, we're fake. We know we're fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's come to
cinema.
a point. It's like, yeah, exactly. Now we're just getting you invested in this storyline, right? We know these guys have had this rivalry for so long, right? And we see these two icons standing face to face, right? I will say John Cena looked a little bit more out of it I felt like Rock really sold
No, because
himself
Rock's
back.
in it. Rock's in it. Like Rock was in the match the night before. Rock's been on the couple Raws. Like he's been.
Yes.
He's included in the
John Cena,
storyline.
you can tell he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's really trying to improve in his Hollywood career. You can tell. Hey, if I got more acting and less like present.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure, right? Because he's more in the era that Dwayne was in 2012, when Dwayne was trying to build himself up to who he is now, which you still play the same character every time, whatever. Side note, you know, but then The Rock hits John Cena with the rock bottom. He pulls off a belt. It's looking over for Cody again, right? Cody's outmanned again. Done. Someone insert the
chills, the goosebumps down your
the darkness, right? All of a sudden, I'm 12 again.
Yeah,
I'm 12 again. It's dark, and I'm like, where is he?
Well, yeah, you're a little nervous because you have no idea. One of the coolest things about the Undertaker, when the lights go dim, is you don't know where he's gonna come.
No,
out
I'm telling you, he could be in the ring. He could be next to me.
He could be under the ring. Yeah. You don't know.
Yeah, and my question is, does he wait under the ring the entire match?
Yeah, 100% he does. Like it's funny to think that, you know, now that we're growing up, but because in our head, like he pops up. You know what I mean? Like he just vanishes or appears out of thin air. That's what we think as kids, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny to think that now, you know.
Yeah, the whole time he's just like
he's just like sitting under
like,
the ring.
Ooh, that sounded hard.
Like, all right. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh shit, it's dark.
And Undertaker also still had that, like, you know, nostalgia feeling of
One
like,
thing
he
I didn't
still
like
showed-
though, he wasn't wearing the outfit.
Yeah.
Like the hat and the, you know, the trench coat.
the trench coat.
Like, why was he wearing like a beanie and like a hoodie? It's
yeah,
like
he looked like it was a side mission.
Yeah, he
you know?
really looked like they were like, he was in the crowd that day and they were like,
Undertaker, you want to run one real quick?
So I looked in, I was like, you know, after I watched this, I got a little invested in it, as you know I do. And when I get invested, I learn things. Apparently it was supposed to be Stone Cold.
No way.
But they couldn't come to an agreement.
I mean, it depends. Do you want to please the 2000s fans or do you want to please the 90s fans?
I do think
right?
Stone Cold would have made more sense because Stone Cold he had that, his biggest rival was The Rock.
100%.
So-
But once again, who do you want to please? The 2000s fans or the 90s
They
fans?
went with a great second
Because
option.
I've seen both, but who do I get more excited on?
Undertaker.
120%.
I mean, just the freaking darkness. Oh my God, dude. I'm telling you, I was 12 again. Regardless, I guess Cody Rhodes won the championship. Roman Reigns lost, but I didn't realize that WWE is so back, dude. Like,
What did you think of Speed coming out there in the Prime bottle and, you know,
dude,
engaging with Randy Orton?
Logan is doing so great. That's what I think, bro. I know, like, Speed is his own entity, and last year KSI came out. But the way that he is making wrestling cool again is like, it needs to be studied, bro. Because he, not only is he obviously bringing the social media following that he has to WWE, dude's freaking good at it, bro.
100%.
And like, and then he's incorporating, bro. Prime was on the mat. That's the first advertisement to touch a WWE mat. That's revolutionary shit, bro.
I mean, bro, it's when Triple H came to conclusion that, okay, we know now publicly that everybody knows that WWE's fake. What do? We really invest in the storyline. We tell the greatest story to ever be told, and we make sure that it's a live action movie. Right?
Yeah.
Because think about it, you watch movies, and when you watch a movie, when the hero dies, you get a little tear-eyed. You know, when the villain's winning, you're a little angry. So once we know that, we can get invested. You know, and I think it won a lot of, like you said, the 2000 fans are kind of back now.
I mean, it's just like, and then it's like, it's so much more digestible now too, because they've incorporated so much of, like, they use social media so well now, right? Like that Speed RKO moment, that's a clip that's everywhere, bro. And like, Speed's the biggest streamer on the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This
And-
is just the beginning. You know?
And Randy Orton RKO is like a meme at this point, you know? So to put those two things together, you never thought Speed was gonna get RKO'd in your life, and they're generating so many more views and fans. So I honestly think WWE is killing it. Shout out to Triple H, bro, because Vince McMahon, obviously I don't know too much, but he's been caught up in some shit legally, and Triple H has had to take over. And this dude is, you know, like that meme when the pen's on fire. He's writing a fucking mean story.
Varsity
right
superstar takes over the team and becomes the coach. And it's a story of one of the greatest WWE, you know, fighters of all time, Triple H. You know, and I don't want to like get all political, but it was amazing watching him growing up. DX. You know,
he was always pushing the boundaries of creativity as a character.
100%, bro. DX became a meme. Everybody was in class telling the teacher to suck it.
bro, he was a big dude, right? He was like a big brolic dude. A lot of those guys didn't really have a personality. But Triple H was, not only is he the game, you know, and he's like this manipulative mastermind, but then he's also has like a comedic bit with Shawn Michaels where they're this like funny tag team, but then he's also making jokes with everybody and like is crazy on the mic. I have a newfound appreciation for Triple H because I don't think he was anybody's favorite growing up. Like we all liked him, but like, you know, like him with the sledgehammer, that's an iconic, like he had an iconic weapon too, you know?
You know who I'm a little disappointed in?
Who?
In the growth of Rey Mysterio. I feel like Rey Mysterio stayed consistent. The same Rey Mysterio that was in the early 2000s continued to be the same Rey Mysterio till 2024. And I feel like there wasn't an evolution that, I mean, once again, I haven't been keeping up with the WWE, but I watched recent matches of Rey Mysterio and he's still the same character. And it's a little bit awkward to see now because he's like this 40-year-old guy with like a belly of abs, and he's just not the high flying dude.
He's not. Yeah. It probably is time for him to walk away. I think he's done a good job of putting his son on.
Yeah.
Like his son's like a pretty big name in wrestling now. He's one of the most like crowd reactive dudes, right? But yeah, it was crazy. WrestleMania made me want to watch Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, no, I mean, once again, bro, that's the beautiful thing about YouTube now is we don't have to watch the whole thing. We can just, you know, if you're tapped in back into WWE, that just means you just catch the highlights again. You know, before we weren't. Now it's like if they say that, you know, John Cena showed up on Raw or The Rock is having a match. It's like I want to check in. You know, I want to see what The Rock is doing now on Raw or SmackDown. They got rid of ECW, right? Or whatever.
I don't know what they're doing.
Used to be
with that. Yeah.
SmackDown, Raw, and ECW.
I think they have NXT. I don't know what they're doing with it. They have like a little young dudes thing though that they're trying to build them up and, you know, teach them and shit. I will say, outside of last week on WrestleMania, I don't know if you saw, the world was enamored and we were in the line of the solar eclipse. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it. Did you give a fuck about it? What did you think about the social media and everyone caring so much? I'll be honest with you. I didn't give a shit.
I genuinely did not.
I didn't give a shit, but I was like, you know when you don't care about something and then you see it like everywhere?
I feel like what happened, bro, is it's been some time since people have had a real holiday. I think Easter, you know, was only celebrated by Christians, so I think not everybody had a holiday, something to look to, you know, forward to worldwide. In America at least, and people were just trying to make it into a thing. Like they just want, can you give us a reason to make more memes? You know, have some fun, understand that everybody's getting hyped for one thing. And I felt like that was what the solar eclipse was, bro. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I was working, and no part of me wanted to go out there.
Well, the thing is, you also can't look at it directly, or like it damages your eyes or some shit. Because I looked at it, and now like I still haven't seen a text back from her.
You got my ass. I was like, bro, where are you going with this?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's the eclipse fucked up my eyes. Maybe that's why she hasn't.
I don't think she responded, bro. I'll be honest with you. I think the eclipse might have actually, you know.
And then you had like the non-religious brown dude Muslim people that were like, oh, can we eat during the eclipse since technically the sun is not present?
Yeah, and
the eclipse was like 30 seconds, my guy, and I did get a couple sips of water in.
I did have a couple of bites.
So I
was that guy.
Yeah, I was that guy, and like God knows, you can't create this anomaly and think I'm not gonna capitalize on it. You know, I had a protein bar and an energy drink ready to go. I was like, oh,
you know, because they used to say back in the day the solar eclipse was basically a sign that it would be the end of the world. So a lot of Muslims, I'm not sure if other religions do this, but I know a lot of Muslims would go to pray to once the solar eclipse is happening to hopefully like allowing life to continue afterwards, right? So they would go and pray and
they know it's like a minute, right?
It could be, yeah, but it could be you go pray 2 rak'ats, and so it's an idea to kind of
2 rak'ats for me is like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter, but the idea is like praying for, you know, for yourself to continue
pray longer
life
than
and
that,
then, you know, the world doesn't end, etc.
So yeah, that's where like I was gonna go with this. Like imagine like obviously we have like technology now and we understand the concept of solar eclipse and you know it's a cool little like take a picture of it. It's cool. Imagine like 1600, right? Where you're like, what is going on?
You're literally there and it gets dark. And you get a little weird, and you're like, "What the fuck was that?
Why do I have a boner right now?"
Because you understand, back in the day, they used to, watch the sun a lot because that's how they could tell time. Right?
Yeah,
it's like, and then why is the sun looking like a ring light?
No,
right now?
like immediate, like think about what goes through your mind as like a person who's like a hunter. Right, like hunter gatherer, right? But you're praying, you're about to kill a rabbit.
You have your bow like this,
yeah. Like,
and then it gets dark, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and then you're like,
you look up, and then you get grabbed by a jaguar. Right
yeah,
there.
that's what I'm saying. A leopard pounces on you, and like. Let me just say, I say this a lot. I'm just really glad that I was born in this era.
Why? Why you say that?
I mean, bro, there's so many reasons. For one, like
you think you would
said,
have been a hunter or a gatherer? Be honest.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'd be a hunter. Because the reason is I would learn to use my small stature to my advantage. I'd be like, I can climb that tree and get that squirrel. Like, you know what I mean? I'll go get breakfast for y'all. But also, like, dude, like toilets. Shout out to toilets, bro. You know what I mean? Like, aren't you happy as fuck that you're alive at 2024 and not fucking 1724?
I just think that stuff wouldn't have mattered, bro. Like, that stuff literally don't matter because you got to understand, bro, like, those people, they back in the day, like, your body's a fucking specimen. Like, you're strong. You could walk barefoot on jungle forests. Like, your feet don't blister up
I didn't
or
say
nothing.
BC.
You can imagine just like walking, crouching down in a little hole, let it slip. You know what I'm saying? You let that shit, it slips right out.
What are you wiping with?
You might need to.
What are you wiping with? You're wiping with your favorite leaf?
They don't wipe. Maybe they wipe with a leaf. Maybe they don't. That's the thing. But like, think about it.
You're thinking
that in today's world, you don't do that. You're gonna get a rash. Back in the day, they're not getting rashes, bro.
No, they had a ton of rashes and they didn't even know it.
But it doesn't affect them. Their skin is bulletproof.
Imagine you eat a berry and then you die.
No, but
you know which
berries. And I'm gonna tell you this because I've watched literally, and it's crazy that you bring this topic up. In the past 2 weeks, I've watched like 4 3-hour podcasts on this guy who goes into the middle of the jungle and sees how the old tribes still live to this day, bro. And he literally says their bodies are bulletproof, bro. These guys are running barefoot in the jungle, because the jungle makes you strong.
Let me test that. I want to see how fucking bulletproof they are. I live in Texas, open carry, baby.
Before you can even reach for a gun, they'll turn you into a porcupine.
That's crazy. What happened when they shoot the arrow and I catch it right here?
You know, the way they attack other humans is they speak monkey. So they tell you if you're those explorers that go to like in the jungles and stuff, if you hear monkey sounds that sound a little bit off,
I wouldn't know.
And mind you, got to be an expert to really know how real monkeys sound. If they sound a little bit off, it means it's a tribe communicating around you, getting ready to hunt you down.
Just get his ass.
Yeah, those guys. The thing is, that's what I'm saying. These uncontacted tribes, bro, they don't speak English. They don't speak a language. So a lot of times, reporters and explorers will come out there and try to like bring peace offerings. But these guys don't understand peace offerings. They understand we're an uncontacted tribe. This is our land. When you come close within arrow,
so like 10 feet.
No, dude.
Yeah, no.
You're talking about like half a football field like length.
Yeah.
Or maybe a football field. I don't know how far, but they will fucking hunt you down, bruh.
Yeah, I feel like Alex Pereira was in one of those tribes and he just got out.
Yeah,
That's
like he literally,
they
contacted him.
They were like,
have you heard of the UFC?
Have you heard of this guy named Adesanya? He's talking shit.
He's acting like he's a tribal warrior, but we think you're the real one.
Botan. No, dude. Agree to disagree on that. You can go back to fucking 1774 if you want to. I like it nice and breezy in 2024.
I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying like that's how it was back in the day.
Regardless, the solar eclipse happened. We didn't care. You guys cared a lot for some reason. I hope your eclipse wish came Someone said that because I'm a Scorpio, my mood was gonna be down during the eclipse. That's when I lost it.
That's when I'm like, all right,
That's when I was like, you guys are reaching right now.
yeah, the internet,
dude.
can get really annoying sometimes if you spend too much time on
On
it, I
your
feel
page
like.
specifically.
Yeah, on my page. But, wanted to say once again, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Short Kings Podcast. And, I want you guys to, don't forget this. We are the hottest show in Houston. We stand on business. We're getting better. Dana White, we want you to come on. This show is going to grow. We're going to invite a couple of guests soon. We're still building out the show. But don't forget to subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow if you're on TikTok and Instagram. Let's grow this page. And don't forget, we will do some stand-up if one of our clips reaches 100K. So if you want to see us do stand-up, we have a couple of clips up there. Go and run the numbers up. And once again, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you guys on the next episode, episode 11. And thank you again.
Episode 10, that's a wrap, baby.